It's a brand new model. It's never been done before for synthetic assets, and it's quite exciting.
Carter, oh, it's crazy. How do I explain this to my no-coiner friend?
I know.
How do I say to them? I mean, I'm telling my friends and family about Cosmos and Osmo and stuff, and then what do you mean you just get money for free? What do you mean you just get money for free? And then, yep, it happens in crypto. And then, wait a minute, they keep giving you even more money for free. Well, what do I got to do? Oh, you just got to hold it. Oh my God.
Essentially.
That is amazing. That is really, really amazing.
The world's most advanced cold wallet for the new generation of cryptocurrency lovers, Descent.
Find the best cryptocurrency investments, check out Token Metrics, use my affiliate link for a discount. Hey Carter, thank you so much for making yourself available. We recorded a video on Secret Network because you're one of the team at Secret Network. And you're also one of the team at Shade Protocol. And you've got a privacy hat on that I like very much.
Yeah, we love the privacy hats. We've done 1 or 2 events where we have free hats, and the privacy hats just get 100% taken because even non-privacy people are like, oh, that's a cool hat. Like, I want to wear that. So
that is a cool hat. Okay, do you want to say what you do at Shade Protocol, and then we'll get into Shade Protocol because today's a very special day for Shade Protocol.
Yes, 100%. So the name's Carter Woetzel. I'm the lead researcher and economist for Shade Protocol. So myself and Sutera are the 2 people that have helped write the white papers for Shade Protocol from day one. At this point, I believe there's about 33 pages of white paper that's been released. There's probably like 20 to 30 pages more that are pending because it's so far in the future that it's like we have to build first. We can only get so far ahead of ourselves. But yeah, just all things community management, all things Shade Protocol on the research and economic side is what my role is. So
okay. And now, economists. Why does a blockchain project need an economist?
You need an economist because whenever you launch a token, there has to be a way to generate value for that token, and the process of generating that value has to be tied to fundamental utility. And in that sense, you need an economist to come in and make sure that these systems are designed intelligently to build value long term for the token and for the users and for the system. In this case, there's 2 tokens at play. You have Shade, which is the governance and treasury token of Shade Protocol, and then you have SILK, which is the privacy preserving algorithmic stablecoin we'll probably be talking a lot about today.
Okay, SILK is the privacy stablecoin, and is Shade SHD, is that also a privacy coin?
Yes, they're both privacy preserving. They both use the SNP20 token standard on Secret Network, which is what gives that transactional privacy, as well as privacy for when those tokens interact with smart contracts on Secret Network.
Okay, now what's SNP20? Is that ZK Snarks equivalent or something?
It's simply our fungible token standard on Secret Network. So we talk about in the past Secret Network video how Secret Network provides privacy for transactions using this distributed hardware level encryption across all the nodes on the network that empowers smart contracts to have granular privacy and transactions as well. So SILK and Shade are tokens of the SNP20 standard, and they inherit all of the properties that SNP20s have.
Right. Okay. All right. So Shade's value, I suppose, is going to go up and down according to market demand.
Yes.
SILK's will just stay pegged to $1.
In this case, it's pegged to a basket of global currencies. So you got the euro, the yen, the dollar, you have Bitcoin, you have gold, and there's weights attached to each one of these. And if you sum the weights times the amount of currency as well as the price of those currencies, they all add up to a dollar amount. In this case, out of the gates, it's going to be targeting like $1.05 as the target point. And then the whole algorithmic pegging system, as the values of those currencies and commodities shift on the global market, the peg will very, very slowly shift in relation to whatever sovereign currency you're native to. So like SILK could appreciate in value versus the dollar. It might slowly depreciate in relation to the euro. But the goal of SILK, because it's pegged to this entire basket, it's almost like an ETF of currencies and commodities. And the end result is that it retains your purchasing power. It has reduced volatility in a way that mom and dad could just hold SILK and they don't have to hedge against volatility with global currencies. Like right now, if you're holding the dollar you'd have to hedge against it in the Forex markets. You'd have to hold a different currency. You have to speculate on the relationships to try to maintain your purchasing power. But mom and pops don't do that. They just hold the dollar and they get inflated. But if instead you just held SILK, you would essentially be holding a hedge against inflation, against global volatility. It's a super, super powerful stablecoin. And on top of it all, it has that privacy component, that auditable privacy component with the viewing key architecture on Secret Network, where you can decrypt your own transactions, you can hand it off to an auditor. So we're very excited about SILK. We really feel like it's a futuristic stablecoin because right now, all the stablecoins are pegged to the dollar, like a huge percentage of them. And personally, in this world of Web3, I think we can dream much bigger than the future of DeFi just being the dollar. I think we can do better than that. I think we can make currencies that are an upgrade, an improvement from the legacy financial systems.
Yeah, and I can get how a basket, a stablecoin that's pegged to a basket of cryptocurrencies, of currencies, will be made way more valuable, way more stable, especially because the fiat currencies are being printed away. And who really wants, how many dollars do you want, really?
Yeah.
Same with the euro and the pound and the yen. Okay, now, it's pegged to shade. Is that the same way it works with Luna, that whenever UST gets minted, then a little bit of Luna gets burnt?
Yes, so it's the same algorithmic stablecoin model. I'll walk through the history here really quick.
Sure.
First generation stablecoin was USDT. We had a really big problem. We wanted to be able to have, dollars somehow be represented on the blockchain. So USDT emerged as this promise that for every tether that's out there, there's some bank account holding $1, right? But there was a couple of problems that emerged. First, it was extremely centralized, right? They can freeze transactions on chain. Second, we don't know if you can actually redeem. If everyone tried to redeem their tether, would the dollars actually be there waiting for you on the other end? And the third is that lack of privacy, right? So this is when MakerDAO came along in 2017, 2018, and they kind of came up with this first, it would be a second generation stablecoin after Tether. They said, can we decentralize it? And can we make this, somewhat algorithmic? And so what MakerDAO did is users come in, they lock up $150 worth of collateral, and they get to mint out $100 worth of a stablecoin. In this case, it was called DAI. And whenever the underlying collateral backing the stablecoin drops below a certain price, there's this automated liquidation feature where that distressed collateral gets auctioned off to the market in return for the stablecoin. And so in that sense, you're able to pull the stablecoin DAI out of circulation in order to make sure it stays at its target peg. It's roughly how it works. But there's a couple of problems with this. And the biggest one is this. Token expansion of the stablecoin is based off of leveraged positions, right? Like in order to expand the stablecoin supply, there has to be more and more people being put into these leveraged lending positions in order to mint out the stablecoin. And so fundamentally, during contractionary and expansionary events, what the world of crypto found is the system wasn't reflexive enough. So this is where Terra Luna came up with this brand new third generation model that was absolutely brilliant to say, okay, let's do away with the leverage system. Let's not have that involved at all. And instead, they have this algorithmic system. And here's how it works. You have two tokens. You have Luna and you have UST. UST needs to stay at $1. Luna is this collective pool of market capitalization and value, right? So what happens is if UST is ever trading above its target peg, let's say it's trading at $1.02, that's not good, right? We want it at the target peg. And so what anyone in the world can do is they can burn $1 worth of Luna to mint one UST that the secondary market is valuing at $1.02, right? And if they turn around and sell that UST, they drive the price back down to $1. They get to derive arbitrage profits in order to push the system back to peg. And the inverse scenario is also true. If UST is ever trading at 98 cents, the system, anyone in the world can do this, they can burn 98 cents worth of UST and they're able to mint out $1 worth of Luna. And when they burn that UST, it reduces the circulating supply and it ultimately pushes it back to peg. Now, I'll give the explain it to me like I'm 5 example. Someone asked me this recently, like, all right, so that's an algorithmic peg. It's kind of confusing. Give me like the brutally simplified example. Essentially, picture you have a glass of water and you want the water level to only stay at a certain height in the cup. What happens is users come along and they either bump the cup so some water spills out, or they come in and they add water. And every time they either bump the cup or add water, they get paid a little bit of money to ultimately keep the water at the right level. So that's like the super simplified algorithmic model. And so this is where SILK as a 4th generation stablecoin came in. We said, hey, let's add on privacy. Let's have this be pegged instead of $1 we have this basket system to make it even more stable in terms of stability. And then another really unique component is right now, the people that are bumping the cup and adding water in, there are retail arbitrage players and institutional arbitrage players. But we also wanted to add a monetary backing to this entire system. And so with Shade Protocol, the Shade Treasury, as well as Shade staking collateral, also contributes to arbitraging and helping push the price back to peg. So Terra Luna is just retail and institutional. Shade Protocol is retail, institutional, and entire treasury, as well as Shade staking collateral, also helps maintain SILK's peg at the target price. And so SILK isn't backed by collateral, it's backed by a massive amount of collateral participating in arbitrage to keep it at a target price.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the interplay between the two?
Conceptually, it's the same thing. So you have SILK, the stablecoin. If we're targeting $1.05 and SILK on the secondary market's trading at $1.07, people get to convert Shade. They burn the Shade. They mint the SILK. They've expanded the supply of SILK, and this pushes it back to peg. So just like Terra Luna has that system, it's identical relationship. Shade is to Luna as SILK is to UST in terms of the algorithmic analogy. Now, where does Shade derive its value from, right? Because Shade's essentially backing the peg for SILK. All the value that's drawn there that has to be pulled upon in order to keep SILK at target peg. So Shade derives value because Shade stakers earn transaction fees from every SILK transaction, every Shade transaction. They also earn from swap fees. Every time someone converts Shade to SILK and SILK to Shade, there's a small fee that's incurred that goes to the stakers. There's also traditional Shade staking rewards. So in terms of tokenomics, there's a percentage of supply pulled aside for 10 years to bootstrap the staking. And there's rewards that's accrued from that. So that's 3 revenue streams. There's also staking derivatives that we have built out. A secret staking derivative product and a Shade staking derivative product. And that's its own rabbit hole we can fall down, but essentially that's 2 additional revenue streams for Shade stakers. So that puts us up to essentially 5 revenue streams, real fundamental economic utility derived from usage that Shade stakers are accruing that gives the token fundamental value, which ultimately is how we're able to keep SILK at the target peg because the system's actually backed by economic utility.
And then that will have people pull Shade out of the market in order to stake it and then get the rewards.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Okay, it's all done algorithmically. Okay, now today is the day where Shade is going to be airdropped to people who had Luna, Secret, and Atom.
Yes.
When the snapshot was taken. Mm-hmm. I had Atom and Secret at the time of the snapshot. I have Luna now. I didn't have it then. So I will be getting some Shade. And just talk us through the airdrop. Why an airdrop? How will people claim it?
Yep, totally. So we are breaking the launch of SILK up into 2 phases. We have phase 1, where we launch Shade with the airdrop. And at this point, when Shade launches on Monday, total transparency, completely speculative assets. The staking utility, treasury utility, SILK, all of these other components are coming in the following months after we have our essentially primary audits get completed. So right now, the initial launch is just getting the token out into the hands of holders, establishing some liquidity pools on SecretSwap and Sienna, and making sure Shade has some sort of price stability before SILK gets launched. Because if we launch Shade at the same type as SILK, the majority of attack vectors come in that first 6 hours. So by separating out the launch and making sure liquidity gets established, that's where a lot of stability and security is formed. So that was the logic behind that decision. And so additionally, the way we're structuring the airdrop is 20% of 14.5% of the supply is claimable on day 1 today. Mm-hmm. So you can unlock 20% of your airdrop today. The other 80% will come at mainnet. And so the reason we're doing that is we're giving users another very big reason to come back and actually stake your Shade, mint SILK, vote on a governance proposal, all those traditional, utility things that protocols require of you before you can, grab the rest of your airdrop. We're going to have users do that. So you'll go to shadeprotocol.io. You'll come to a claim page that walks you through the entire process of claiming it. And then you'll be able to go to Sienna.network as well as secretswap.net. And you'll be able to trade Shade on there. You'll be able to liquidity provide on there. Minimal utility out of the gates, but we'll let the market, play the game, speculate, do all that fun stuff. And then the real fun begins in the next couple months. So
okay. And then you said there's going to be incentive pools. Will there be an incentive staking reward? Do you have any idea how much that'll be? Will people be able to stake straight away, or do they have to wait for the launch of the mainnet?
They're gonna have to wait for the launch. So like I said, full transparency, total speculation. But between staking and liquidity providing, in terms of percentage supply pool decided, I believe it's around 28-29% for those between those two incentivizations that are going to be sitting out there that won't get activated until mainnet, essentially.
Okay.
So, but you'll be able to earn Sienna on Sienna.network if you liquidity provide the secret shade pair, and then on Secret Swap you'll be earning CFI, which is the token of the Secret Swap DEX, when you liquidity provide secret and shade. So or it might be CFI and shade. We'll see what pairs precisely get launched.
All right. And then when mainnet?
When mainnet is when the audit's complete. So the main contracts, we have the governance contract, treasury contract, staking contract, conversion minting contract between SILK, SILK and Shade. And those are the primary contracts. And most of those have made, I would say the biggest ones left are like final tweaks to the treasury contract and final tweaks to like V1 of the governance contract. So the devs are deving. We're making great progress. I don't want to slap a exact date on it yet, but I honestly think month and a half, 2.5 months, 3.5 months, sure. It's all in due time. It's the hardest thing to do in the world of crypto is to have patience with builders. But ultimately we will take as long as it takes to launch a safe and secure product. That's our number one priority. Even if the community is upset at speed, like at the end of the day, we're protecting end users, and that always has to be our number one priority. Absolutely.
And patience pays in the crypto space. You know, there are people who didn't hodl their Bitcoin when they got it in 2011 or 2012 or whenever it was, 2009 or something. Patience.
The way I think about it is, you know, we have the 2-3 year product vision, and now it's just a matter of shipping it safely. Because if the economics are as sound as we think they are, then it's just a matter of doing it the right way, and it will get to where we think it'll go.
Okay. Now, given the parallels that I can see with Luna, although it is another step with the addition of with Shade being backed by an algo, by a basket of currencies as well, is it likely to develop, or are there plans to develop its own ecosystem the way Luna has done? So, you know, I can hold on to. I'm gonna put it. Look, I hold on to Osmo because I know I'll get airdrops, and it's the governance token for the Osmosis DEX. I hold on to Secret and Juno and Atom for the same reason. Do I now got to hold on to Shade for the same reason?
You do, and I'll say this. So one of the rules of Shade protocols is we've watched other ecosystems. They launch app after app, and each one has its own unique application token. And what we've realized is this fractures out a lot of the value. It makes a confusing end user experience when it's like, oh, there's this whale token, there's this mirror token, there's this anchor token, and it's just all these tokens, right? Yep. So on top of this vision for Silk, we had another simple vision. What if you launched all the key DeFi primitives, but you didn't have a unique application token for each one? So imagine we launch a stablecoin. Imagine we launch staking derivatives. Imagine we launch a DEX, a lending product, an insurance product, and all of these revenue streams, instead of going off to their own unique application token, they all come back to Shade stakers. And so that's the end game for us, is you hold Shade, you're essentially participating in a massive revenue share model across multiple key primitives that are all unified under one governance and treasury token. And the initial supply for Shade, there's only 10 million in terms of what's been mapped out for the 10-year vision. Circulating supply out of the gates is going to be extremely low because it's only 20% the airdrop. But for all intensive purposes, the more Silk that's minted, the more Shade that's burned. We're talking a supply that could be down to 6-7 million. So like this is going to be a scarce asset that's participating in a massive revenue share model. And the beauty of all of these primitives that we're launching is they're privacy preserving.
Yes.
So
now that is quite something. And I did notice the low supply of Shade.
Yep. Yes. And then right after we launch Silk and Shade, the next primitive we're working on is synthetic assets. To date, everyone's done the over collateralized method, $150 worth of collateral, you mint out, $100 worth of synthetic Tesla, let's say, right? The token. But we realized, what if we use this algorithmic model like Terra Luna uses, like Silk and Shade uses, but instead of targeting a price like $1 and $1.05, what if we target a moving peg of a volatile asset, right? So that would mean you could have synthetic gold with stabilizer gold. And it's the arbitrage between these two assets, just like with Silk and Shade, just like with Terra UST, that would keep it at its target peg. And this is the really exciting part, is we're going to experiment with this. No one's done this model before for something that's not a stablecoin. If this works, though, it's a huge deal, because right now, all these synthetic markets, because they're over collateralized systems to mint the synthetic, they're trading at premiums. The synthetic assets are trading at premiums of up to 15% from the real world price. right? On like Mirror Protocol, UMA. But if our model works, the hypothesis here is that that premium disappears because the expansion of the token supply is based off of demand for the token supply. That's how the whole system works. And probably the most exciting part is Shade stakers will be the ones that will be receiving those stabilizer token airdrops. So if we launch synthetic gold, synthetic S&P 500, synthetic crypto index tokens, you need to have a stabilizer token for each one. And ultimately it'll be Shade stakers that would be receiving those. So it's a brand new model. It's never been done before for synthetic assets, and it's quite exciting.
Carter, oh my God, it's crazy. How do I explain this to my no coiner friend?
I know.
How do I say to them? I mean, I'm telling my friends and family about Cosmos and Osmo and stuff, and they're, what do you mean you just get money for free? What do you mean you just get money for free? And then, yep, it happens in crypto. And then, wait a minute, they keep giving you even more money for free. Well, what do I got to do? Oh, you just got to hold it. Oh my God.
Essentially.
That is amazing. That is really, really amazing. So look, if people want to get involved, right, I'll have the links in the description below for the Discord group and Twitter, and they can go check out the website, which is a beautiful website, absolutely beautiful website, which to me says something about the integrity of the design. Because often, somebody will have a cut and paste website for some project that they've, I don't know, some silly little DAO or something like that, right? Or some mining project or multi-level marketing project. But this, where they have a beautifully designed website, like Secret Network does, like Shade Network does. In fact, like most of as far as I can tell, all the Cosmos Project websites that I've looked at, beautifully designed. And that design runs all the way through because that thinking is there. It's integral to the whole project. Okay. What else? Anything else you want to let us know about Shade Protocol that we haven't covered?
I would just say, be sure to follow Shade Protocol on Twitter. There's lots of fun announcements. And my favorite piece of alpha I like to leak, that I've leaked some of this lately, but people know, like, there's the core development team, there's approximately 10 developers. What people don't know is that there are multiple other teams building key DeFi primitives under the Shade Protocol umbrella yet to be revealed. This is more than just core developers. This is a community of developers that are all jumping in on this idea. And we actually just launched the Shade Grants program as well. So if you're a developer and you want to come build, like, we are here to pull you into the Shade Protocol family and come build really interesting and valuable financial products. So that's what I'm most excited about. I feel like go to the places where the developer community is growing and that there's multiple teams that are building towards the same vision. And in this case, it's a connected ecosystem of privacy preserving DeFi applications. And we're going to bring this to the real world. We want it to be just this beautiful end user experience. One day, I hope it's as simple as a phone app. And you want to use lending, you want to use stablecoins, you want to use synthetics, you want to swap, like, it's all there, all in one mobile experience, all unified under the Shade Protocol and SILK branding. So the vision is there. Now it's just a matter of patience and execution. Ultimately.
Fabulous. And just on that, people will get Shade in their Kepler. I can keep it in my Kepler.
Yes, 100%. Kepler.
Connected with Secret Swap and all of that. That is great. Thank you so much, Carter. And I look forward to having you back on my channel at some point to give us an update on Shade and also let people know. Oh, is there a time limit on the airdrop claim?
So right now there is the way Osmosis did it is they have like a decay model that gets activated where if you don't claim it after a certain time, it slowly, those amounts atrophy back to the treasury. We're doing the same thing, but the atrophy won't begin until about, I believe it's a month and a half after SILK goes live. So you're not losing anything between now and then. If you don't claim, you can wait until the other 80% becomes claimable. You could claim all 100% of it at that time. And then it'll be like a month and a half after that, whenever the mainnet launch of SILK, the treasury contracts, all those contracts I talked about, then the atrophy will begin. And that will ultimately go back to the community pool for the community to decide where it gets spent. So,
right. Or you might want to put it in a liquidity pool in Secret Swap or Sienna and then get rewards and accrue more Shade that way.
Yep,
okay.
100%.
All right. Yep. Carter, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you taking the time out. Go watch my conversation with him about Secret Network and go get your Shade coins tokens today. And if you have any comments or questions, put them in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT. Follow me on my new YouTube channel, YouTube CryptoRichBTC, and also join my official Telegram announcements channel, where I'll be letting you know about Cosmos asset airdrops. And there's many, many more to come. Okay, this is Crypto Rich and Crypto Carter signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.